If you're just starting your first business, you're probably missing out on this and it's keeping you stuck. And it's having close people around you that you can get their advice on. And usually it needs to be when they're above you, when you can actually get some qualified advice. It's not just some random mate talking about their opinion when their opinion is worthless. It's actually people that you look up to in that field and you can get advice from, because a lot of the time, if without that, you're kind of just running around and operating and you just don't have a clue. And then you make some of the most retarded decisions, but you don't have anyone to call you out on it. So for myself, when starting out, it was a big problem because I didn't really have anyone I could speak to. And then it was more like close friends, like I didn't really have anyone. And then as I got a bit older, that's when I started meeting some like-minded friends and I could bounce things off them. But a big one was just cold outreach on Instagram, and then I was able to meet. That was literally just to get clients. But then once I got to the point, I could actually just ask those clients for advice on specific topics. But if you don't have those people around you, you're literally just trying things and hoping for the best. And to be honest, I'm still doing that, but I can have a bit more calculation behind it. I'm not just doing whatever. And then it's like, imagine if I run a video editing agency. Imagine if I was trying to sell those services and I was putting in the newspaper. Like, it makes no sense. So it's things like that that maybe I could believe 100% that it's the best idea, and then someone with a working brain and a bit of experience in business would be like, "You're a retard. What are you doing?" So it's things like that. So I've got a couple mates who work in AI and they're actually knowledgeable about it, and I can bounce things off them and get their advice. And then I've got people who in the home services business, and then in Facebook ads specifically in marketing, things like that, where I can get ideas off. And recently, I made a massive mistake with my ads. I've been running it for about 4 months now, and then burned about 9K, and then I made the most stupid mistake where I was I don't want to get too into the nitty gritty details, but basically, Facebook ads, they have a learning cycle, and you have to hit 50 conversions. So that's either converted leads or qualified leads, and you can kind of choose between them. But I would be going where, and it's usually a 7 day cycle, and I would go where I would let it go for the 7 days, but then it wouldn't hit that 50 metric goal. So it would never get out of the learning phase. And then I would just launch a whole new campaign. So instead of using that data that I just paid for, I would completely start from scratch. So then the AI had to learn everything again and test it all again and show it to different people. And then when I told him that, because I think I've done that about 20 times now, and in the space of 4 months, and that's terrible. And for me, I was just making small iterations, and it would continue on. But I didn't realize, and he was like, What are you doing? This is why you haven't made any work. You haven't properly made money off it." And then yeah, so like for that, if you don't have people around you like that who are actually knowledgeable about things in business, they can't call you out on it, and you need that. Otherwise, you're just running around in circles. But yeah, I think a big one for me was like, you can do cold outreach on Instagram, but you need to have something for them to follow you for. And for me, I was just posting a lot of content online, and it was just video content, so people could actually see who's reaching out to them and talking to them rather than just some random person. So, or just like a faceless account. And why would they give you the time of the day? They wouldn't. So you need to have something. But then there's also, I mean, I'm quite introverted. I just don't really enjoy networking groups. They just seem, from the ones that I've been to, they've. Well, to be fair, I've only really been to one proper networking group, and it was just like a bit of a cock off. Like, it was just like, "Hi, what do you do?" And then no one was just like, it was just like, you could feel everyone trying to work out how much you're making, and yeah. So I mean, don't listen to what I'm saying about networking groups as a whole. I'm sure they're not all like that, but I'm sure that's a good way to do it. But it's more just having, like, it could be close friends and family, people like that, or through school, maybe they can refer you to someone. I don't know. It's more just finding people that are knowledgeable in that field and you can get ideas from. And I mean, there's YouTube as well, but the problem is, and ironically, I'm posting this to YouTube, but anyone can post on YouTube. So for all you know, I could be talking a load of shit, but trying to be authentic. But do you know what I mean? So there's people where, like, you look on YouTube and you get 10 different pieces of advice. So it's more just a matter of being wary. But like for me, when I was first starting, I didn't know anyone. I did results YouTube, and on the most part, it was good. But yeah, I think it's good to just have a circle of people you can reach out to when you need to. Like my mates, I've got some that can do AI, some that are good for paid ads and hiring and sales, and then people come to me for content production. So it's kind of offering something, or we can all offer each other something. So try to keep that in mind. But at the end of the day, it's a hard one to control or find, especially when starting out. So yeah, but definitely encourage you to do that. That's what helped me grow a lot as well. But yeah, have a good one.